That carburetor is definitely leaking right now as we speak. All of my phone asking where the hell I'm at. I said you'll leave me when I get there. I think that's the culprit of our problem right there. And when I turned it over, what's up everybody? It's a little bit chilly out today, so I got my long sleeve on and my jacket, and I'm gearing up and getting ready to go ride. I come in the garage this morning, was hit with a whiff of gas, and I got a puddle of gas up underneath the bike. So I just took a trip out to Chicago yesterday and it rode fine, but this morning we got some gas on the floor. So even though I really want to ride right now, we got to figure out what's going on, baby. Let's get into it. You guys already know what it is. It's your boy Ant. Thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Ant's Machines and Things, baby. We out here today working on my 96 Kawasaki Vulcan, and he's finally decided to show a couple of issues to me, and that's fine. So we're going to fix them up and spruce them up and get them back out there on the road. So to get to the guts of this bike, pretty much, you got to take the speedometer off. That's the first thing primarily you got to take off. And then you have to take that seat off. You have to take the seat off in order to take the gas tank off. So pop that seat off. It's like a 10mm screw on the back. And then I believe for the gas tank, it's a 12 or 13mm. Don't hold me to it. But it's two bolts pretty much holding the gas tank down to the frame. So all you got to do is unscrew them. They got some washers with them, so be careful. And once you unscrew those two, besides the petcock, a lot of people don't know about this, there is a breather hose for the gas tank on the right side of the bike. So make sure you disconnect that and everything from the petcock before you go yanking and trying to get that off. As soon as I took that fuel line off coming from the gas tank to the carburetor, I had got some gas that spilled out, which you'll always have a little bit of gas spill out sometimes, but this was a lot of gas that spilled out the line, so I was kind of starting to figure out the problem right then and there. I knew originally that I had a faulty fuel valve. When I first restored the bike, it was giving me just a little drip when I put some gas in the gas tank, but honestly, I didn't know that it was going to be an issue. And as y'all can see right there is gas coming out of that fuel valve, and that's not what we want. So I think that's the culprit of our problem right there. I got the gas tank off, I got the seat off, the speedometer off and everything, and I got to the guts. And one thing I noticed, and one thing I know about fuel valves, is they're not supposed to be leaking in the off position. Well, technically this bike doesn't have an off position. It has either a prime, a reserve, or an on position. But since this is a vacuum operated and a carbureted engine, when it's on and when it's on reserve, I shouldn't be getting any gas about this petcock. So just me seeing that it's leaking gas right now while me just having it disconnected is an issue, because it's not supposed to be leaking still. It tells me something in that fuel valve is messed up. And I know that because when I just took this gas line off, this entire line was full of gas, which I had to empty into this bucket. And that's letting me know that it's still gas dripping down into this line and into the carburetor, even when the engine is off, and we don't want that. So now I probably could stop right here during the process and just go online and order the fuel valve rebuild kit, but I wanted to have a little bit deeper into this since I already got this many parts off the bike and check this carburetor out. So let's go around to the right side of the bike. You got to take the air filter off. You got to take the chrome housing off, and then the air filter sits behind that. And behind the air filter is this black, I guess what would I call it, box assembly. It has a couple of lines going to it behind it, so just be careful when you're taking that off. But it's two bolts that hold this down, and then yeah, you can just go ahead and pop that baby right on out. It's a little bit harder than it looks, honestly, because the lines behind it are clipped on there with like them little clamps that you need needle nose pliers to get it off. But I got it off, so that's cool. And then behind that pretty much is one more bracket with two bolts that are holding the carburetor in place. These bracket goes right onto the engine, so be careful when you untightening these and tightening it, because you don't want to make no mistakes. Windows down when I drive, I got candy all of my old school. My girl right from my side. My friends calling my phone asking where the hell I'm at. I said you'll leave me when I get there. I got got 2 12s in the back. I said, let's ride, let's ride. Windows down while I drive. So I got to the carburetor right here, and honestly, I see a whole bunch of gas around the bottom of the carburetor, especially on them screws right there up underneath that little spring assembly or whatever that is. So that carburetor is definitely leaking right now as we speak, and it's a lot of gas on the bottom of it. It really is hard to get these out with this clutch and this throttle cable on there. And them 2 little bitty T-hex screws right there on that intake manifold suck. You Kawasaki for that. I love the bike, but come on now. So I'm gonna take the carburetor out. This is a 25+ euro carburetor. I knew when I took the bike apart originally and restored it that I should have bought the carburetor rebuild kit. I didn't do it. And I honestly think right now that either one of the gaskets has failed or something inside this carburetor has failed. So I'm gonna take it out and take a good look at everything. But I think that since I have it out now, I think I gotta go ahead and get that car rebuild kit. So let's get this carburetor off the bike and see if I can see anything funky, baby. I know a lot of people don't like running carburetors for this reason, because they require maintenance, and gaskets and jets and stuff like that can get clogged and worn down. But at the same time, this is the beauty of machines, and the beauty of taking care of something is you just got to know what's going on with it and keep up to date with it, so that when it breaks down, you know what the heck is going on. Just be careful with these carburetors, because I'm sure that this OEM carburetor is probably like $1,000, and the arm, if I wanted to get one just like this, and not a Chinese Amazon one. So just be careful. Got the throttle cables off, the clutch cable off. We got the field line coming from the gas tank off. The last thing I got to disconnect is this choke. So all right, everyone, so the bike is completely broke down as much as I am going to do to it today. I took the carburetor out. The bottom bowl and that even more bottom bowl right there had gas all on the bottom of it. This carburetor is huge, first off, compared to my scooter back there. This carburetor is definitely huge. That intake is a lot bigger, but I'm assuming that one of these gaskets in here is bad because it was gas all on here. And then when you look, like right in that crease right there, it was wet. So I know that gasket at the bottom of that bowl needs to be changed. And I believe it's the gasket in there too that might be going bad. So I'm gonna make sure that the new one comes with all of that. And when I turned it over, the carburetor was full of gas, which I know that we don't want any gas sitting in the carburetor. That's how we start to get little buildup like that. So I gotta address that field petcock issue. I might have to either order new parts to go inside of that field valve, or I might have to order a new field valve. Just kind of depends on prices. But we definitely can't be out on the road while we're leaking gas. It sucks because it's like 70 degrees, 69 degrees right now. It's about to throw my hoodie on and go rolling. But when you hit with a whiff of gas, you know it's something important. So thank you all for tuning in to the video. You guys already know what it is. Out here with my 96 Kawasaki Vulcan, and right now she's down, honestly. I don't want to mess up this bike at all, so I want to make sure I do everything right. When any problem comes, I want to address it instantaneously. So again, thank you all for tuning in to the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. Stay tuned. I'll be coming with an update video once I get some parts to rebuild the carburetor and the inside, and then once I get some part 2 to rebuild that field petcock right there. So stay up to date with all the videos, guys. I love you all. I'll see y'all on the next one.
Trying to fight these fucking demons that be sitting in my brain. I've been dealing with the drama that I ain't never wanna deal. What is this? What is this? You been telling me one thing that I ain't never feel.